Hey everybody, I'm Sean Hammond at Music Messa 2011 with Dennis here at the Palmer booth and Robin. Palmer, I think probably a lot of our viewers are familiar with you guys through your speaker simulator products, which have been used by acts like Def Leppard and I think Joe Satriani and Trevor Rabin from Yes and stuff like that. Joe Bonamassa. But you guys have a bunch of amps here, which is pretty new for you guys, right?
Well, it's sort of pretty new. Palmer started off 30 years ago building amps, and then we drifted off to the speaker simulators, DI boxes, and all that pro audio stuff. But now, since about 2 years, we started doing amps again. We started off with our Palmer Fat 50, that's right behind me. That's a 50-watt tube amp. And this year, we're coming out with a completely revolutionary amp. That's the Palmer Dry. It's all written in German because it's a real German product, we think, because it's a really straightforward amp. But there's a couple of special things about it. Basically, it's a 3-times single-ended amplifier. You've got 3 different power tubes inside, all single-ended, and you can mix them together with each other. So EL84, 6V6, and 6L6, for example. And you can basically... Each power amp has 5 watts, so if we're just going to play one of these amps, and then I can mix the other tube into it, and obviously it gets louder, so we have a total of 15 watts for a single-ended amplifier, which is pretty much. But especially what's really interesting is that you get the characteristics of the power tubes. You get the pure distortion of the power tubes. Like the the E84 sort of starts up a bit muddy and it gets clearer around the top, and that's sort of really interesting to get your sound. There's only 5 components in the signal path to the tube, so it's a really direct circuit actually, and it's a completely pure amp. You've just got your input, you've got 3 outputs, and that's it.
Because you have so many different options with the tubes in there, like it comes with the 6V6 and the 6L6 and the EL84, but you can use other octal tubes, right? So you've got hinges built in back here so that you can open it up and pop new tubes in, right?
Exactly, that's the idea behind it. We've selected these tubes and we ship with these tubes, but those who know a bit more about tubes, they'll know what options they can have here. And basically they can try out different types of tubes without having to adjust any bias value or anything. The unit has a very special transformer which makes sure that the tubes are always matched properly, and that's basically the trick behind it. And
that is a huge transformer in there. I don't know if you can see that down there, but in the middle, that's huge. 2 big ones. That's a good sign.
That's always a good sign. That is a massive transformer. Mind you, this is a prototype. It will be slightly smaller, but it's still going to be, for the 15 watts it spits out, it's still going to be a really chunky transformer. But we need that to be able to do this little thing here, because usually you can't just put 3 tubes together, 3 different types of tubes, and drive them all at the same time. So yeah, that's basically the magic behind it. Part of the magic is actually in the transformer to make all of that work.
Okay, now, and the rectifier is a...
what's the rectifier?
GZ34?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I recognize normal, but the other words I don't know. Can you tell us about the rest of the controls here?
This is your saturation. This is a normal saturation, and this is a saturation of your treble. Höhen is a German word for treble, and Klang is tone. Basically, what you're adjusting here is the amount of level you're giving in to the power amps. And you can give the full range signal in, but you can also just fire in more treble frequencies into the power tubes, and basically bring them into higher distortion. And this is just a tone knob, like you know it from your guitar. And that's it. That's all you actually need to get your tone right. Because as I said, the distortion is so direct and so pure, you don't need much else.
And just standard power and standby switches, right?
That's it, yeah.
Can we have Dennis show us a few different sounds?
Sure. don't know how much you'll be able to hear over the mic'd up signal, but when you're playing the guitar yourself, you really have a direct. The response is just unbelievable because it's such a direct signal path. And anybody who knows what single end it is knows what I'm talking about. And the magic of it is that we've got 3 different single-ended tubes. And that's going to be really fun in studios, but also in live applications.
It's very exciting. So when will this be available?
We're hoping to get these ready by about summer. We'll have the first batch ready then.
Okay, cool. And these, I think earlier you said these are going for about 850 euros, around $1,000.
Yeah, that's roughly the price we've calculated as of now. That'll be roughly the price, yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, what else do you guys have that's new this year?
We got a load of new stuff. The PDI CTC, that's our tube DI box. It was presented 1.5 years ago, but it's sort of starting to roll right now. Just recently, Def Leppard has gone and bought 8 of those for their live gigs, where they're going to play their acoustic guitars over the PDI CTC. It's basically a plain DI box with a true tube circuit path, no transistors or anything in between. And the funny thing, or the interesting thing is a tone control. You've just got 4 switches with which you can boost certain frequencies. You don't have any complicated tone knobs. You've just got 4 set frequencies. And you can just boost those, and it gives a really nice round and warm guitar sound, especially with acoustic guitars and also with bass guitars.
All right, Dennis, Robin, I want to thank you for showing me this really cool new amp, the Palmer 3, which means 3 in German. Where can people go to find out more about it?
Well, there's a Palmer website, www.palmer-germany.com. And up at the top, you can search your dealer, and you'll be able to find your dealer in the US. There's loads of dealers listed there, and should be no problem.
Cool. Thanks again, you guys. Have a good show. I'm Sean Hammond, and you're watching PremierGuitar.com.